Hi, Dr. Lisa Thompson of drlisamthompson.com, and I have a question for you. Are you trapped right now in the I can't think bigger mindset? You can't think of a big vision or dream that you want to accomplish, or you feel like your back is against the wall where the bills are piling up and you're trying to do everything you can with your business, but nothing seems to be working? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you a game that I learned from reading in the book Elena Cardone's Build an Empire that can really help you. It's called the Lotto Game. And this was a game that Elena started playing with Grant back when they were going through a huge challenge in their life back in 2008. So I'm going to give you a little preface because in the book they talk about that. So Elena and Grant married on July 4th, 2004, and then in 2008, Elena was pregnant with their first child. And in 2008, as you know, we had that big recession and the stock markets crashed. A lot of banks went under, and that really hit Grant and Elena very, very hard. They wound up, they were investing in real estate, and then what happened was one of the banks where they had a lot of their real estate in went under, and they were demanding $60 million. You know, they didn't have $60 million liquid. Not only that, they had some friends and business partners who they thought were friends con them out of some money, and then those friends sued them. So they were a part of this huge lawsuit. So, you know, and that was on the verge of really wiping them out. There was a lot of stress, you know, and not only that, with Elena being pregnant, you know, talk about a challenge, talk about back against the wall. And what Elena discovered was, you know, one of the things that Grant was attracted to her for was that Elena knew how to have fun. And so Elena's like, you know, he's working himself too hard. I'm worried that, you know, he might have a heart attack. We got to get him to start, you know, lightening the load. How can I do that? And she knew that Grant was the type of guy that using cuddles and soothing words is not always going to help. He's a solutions guy. So what she did is she sat down with him and they played the Lotto game. Now, you might have heard this before, but they have a unique spin on it. So what she said to Grant was, okay, Grant, what would we be doing, and what would you be doing if we went and played the lottery, we won the lottery, took the cash, all cash option, and it was $200 million? What would we be doing? What would we do? What would we be doing? And so Grant, at that time, you know, he sat and said to Elena, well, what would you be doing? And she said, well, what I would love for us to do is to have a private jet and we fly and travel around the world and build a name for ourselves. And so that was her dream. And he's like, okay. This is back in 2008 when she said that. And so they did it the next day, and they kept talking about what would you do if you know, we had $200 million, wanted free and clear. What would we do? And then he started thinking, because he's thinking, okay, you know, a lot of people, and when they do that exercise of what would they do with that, you know, with the money, he's thinking, I got to multiply the money. I've got to multiply this if we're going to travel the world. So then he sat down and said, well, Elena, if we had $200 million free and clear, he said, I'd take $150 million of that and I would invest it in a piece of real estate that would give us a return and make more money. That's what he did. And so then they started playing it, and they started clarifying what they were going to be doing. And then before you know it, now did it happen right off the bat? No. But look where they are 11 years later. Here it is, 2019. They're about to embark on a world tour, and they just spent money, $50 million, on a private jet that can take them around the world to meet people, to build their brand. You know, Grant has a goal of being known to 7 billion people. And Elena gave them a goal, from that $200 million Lotto game, they are now focused on Grant becoming a billionaire. So what is the purpose of that game? The purpose of the game is to get them thinking bigger. And when you have a why of what you're going to do, the how will show up. So here's something important with another thing that they did here with this activity. And I'm going to read off some questions that when you do this. So if you're a home business owner, you want to play this Lotto game. Play it with your spouse. Get them on the same page. If you're single, write this out. Write out what would you do or have if you had $200 million liquid in your bank account right now. Okay? So you want to pay attention, and this is what she says. Pay attention to what you would spend your money on or what you would invest in. That was Grant's piece. Okay? And then you play the game again, but increase the amounts. Observe. Write down how would you feel knowing that anyone would probably take your phone call once you were listed on Forbes Billionaires list. Do you have more confidence? Would you feel just a little bit more free to say what you want? Would you not take certain things too seriously anymore? Would you worry less about money? So when they did this exercise, what happened then is that's when they started developing an action plan. They literally, in 2008, they said they stopped spending money. All they did is they focused on money for the essentials, making sure, with food, clothing, roof over their heads, but everything else, whatever money they had, they poured it back into the business. And now here are some key questions that's going to help you develop the action plan. So once you've done the Lotto game and you wrote everything out, now you got to ask these questions that are going to help you form your course of action. So here they are. Number 1, what are the difficult phone calls you need to make? So that might mean, if you're, prospecting, going out and talking to people about your business, getting the leads. Where have you avoided taking chances or risks for fear of failure? Who are the people you need to be in front of to expand your empire? Are you truly doing whatever it takes to go to the next level? What is a sum of money that seems entirely out of reach? And what would you do with it if it was yours? So that is, huge questions. This book is just amazing. You need to pick it up. And what that helps with, and what Grant said, I was listening to on his YouTube channel, The Young Hustlers, he said the amount of work it takes to become a millionaire is the same, okay, whether you're making $1 million, $100,000, or $50,000. The key is persistence. Are you going to persist through and have the patience to get through in the beginning as you're learning how to do this? Because it's not going to happen overnight. Never does. It never does. And so that's why this game, the Lotto game, they played that game every single day. And that helped them, the mindset. Because if the mindset is right, the how comes about. And they started developing that plan. And that's how Grant today in Elena, where they are today. They are just literally, they're becoming a household name. And that's why they were able to fill up at their last 10X Growth Conference down in Miami. They had a 35,000 people attend. So that is a big thing. Start playing that Lotto game. I've started waking up in the morning, waking up an hour earlier in the morning, and I'm working on visualizing. I play a version of the Lotto game where I go through and I'm visualizing. I spend about 20 minutes in the morning. The first thing I do when I wake up, I'm visualizing, the amount of money I want to make. I visualize how that's going to help people, what that would do, how that would feel, what are the beliefs, the strategies that I would be doing and overcoming those limiting beliefs? What are the limiting beliefs that are coming up when I'm visualizing, and to reframe those limiting beliefs into something empowering? So that is what we work on, and that's what I work on, and that's what helps me keep focused and going. And if you have your mindset right, you have that vision of who you want to become, you're going to make it. You really are. You're going to find a way. You'll figure it out. You got to have that vision first, because pain can push you only so far, and then the vision will pull you. So there you are, my friends. I hope you got value from this today. If you did, leave a comment and share. And if you do not have a copy of Elena Cardone's book, you can get it on Amazon. I put the link down in the video description. Not only that, this is available in paperback. It's also available in Kindle and now Audible. And make sure you're also following Grant on his YouTube channel. Elena and Grant do a show every Wednesday called the G&E Show. She's amazing. You really need to go check that out. So thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and we will talk tomorrow in the next video.